At the previous NASCAR race in Las Vegas, Insanity Bubba Wallace nearly killed Kyle Larson when he intentionally rear-ended him for no reason. This irresponsibility enraged Larson to no end, but he refrained from challenging Wallace to a racetrack brawl, opting instead for a showdown evocative of a boxing ring. Larson was not the only prominent driver to condemn Wallace. Plenty others shared Larson's fury at Bubba's irresponsible behaviour and inability to accept responsibility. The majority of drivers believe that NASCAR should have given Wallace a suspension far longer than one race, and have pushed the organisation to do so. Do you wish to know what drivers like Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano and Daniel Suarez said about the suspended Wallace, as well as what warnings they issued? Welcome to NASCAR News again. Let's discuss the issue in depth. Before entering the race, click that red button to subscribe to the video before the race begins. NASCAR has decided to punish Bubba Wallace for one race after an investigation determined that he committed a dangerous act of revenge by purposely spinning the defending Cup champion Kyle Larson in Las Vegas. Bubba Wallace addressed Kyle Larson after the event. After the Sunday incident in Las Vegas, Wallace engaged in a push-off with Larson and even shoved a NASCAR official out of the way. The penalty that was handed down on Tuesday was based on NASCAR's conduct guidelines, and it could theoretically include the majority of Wallace's antics in Las Vegas. However, the executive in charge of competition and racing operations, Steve O'Donnell, indicated that the penalties were not for the altercation that occurred a few moments later, but rather for Wallace's reckless and premeditated retaliation against Larson. O'Donnell stated on Sirius XM NASCAR radio, "When we examine the circumstances surrounding the incident, we conclude that it was a deliberate act of recklessness that put other racers in danger. When we consider how the occurrence transpired, we conclude that it was a truly dangerous deed." Wallace is the first Cup Series driver to be punished for an altercation on the track since Matt Kenseth was sidelined for 2 races at Martinsville in 2015 for an incident. Wallace's ban for Sunday's race at Homestead Miami Speedway is an unusual occurrence. Wallace is the first Cup Series driver to be suspended for an incident on the track. Any opinions? John Hunter Nemechek will drive for 23XI Racing this weekend instead of Bubba Wallace, after team owners Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan have decided not to appeal the suspension. 23XI is aligned with NASCAR on Bubba's one-race suspension, and we appreciate the need for the series to take a firm stance on the issues that occurred at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the team said in a statement. 23XI agrees with NASCAR's decision to suspend Bubba for one race, and we appreciate the need for the series to take a firm stance on the occurrences that occurred. Bubba's actions do not correspond with the principles that guide our organization or our partners, you stated. We had a conversation with Bubba in which we expressed our dissatisfaction with his handling of the issue. This season, Bubba has made huge strides, and this experience provides him with the chance to expand his NASCAR racing knowledge and skill set. On lap 94 of the Cup race in Las Vegas, Larson, who had been eliminated from the playoffs the previous week, collided with Wallace, who had not qualified to fight for the Cup championship. When Larson attempted to throw a pass in 3 different directions, Kevin Harvick, who was in the middle of the pack, left the pack. Larson started to drift up the track towards Wallace, but Wallace did not pull up on the throttle to allow Larson room. Larson then smashed Wallace's Toyota against the wall with all his strength. Wallace had led 29 laps in a car that he believed was capable of winning, and he reacted by chasing Larson's car down to the apron, where he looked to intentionally catch him in the rear corner as retaliation. Wallace had led 29 laps in a vehicle that he believed might win. This prompted Larson to lose control and collide with title contender Christopher Bell, who is a member of the Toyota squad alongside Wallace. Due to the collision, Bell was eliminated from the race and finished 8th out of the 8 playoff drivers. In the interim, Wallace exited his vehicle and began strolling toward Larson along the track. Wallace was already ranting at Larson when Wallace arrived, and as soon as he did, he began pushing the significantly smaller driver. Larson attempted to escape Wallace by turning away from him and repeatedly raising his arms to block Wallace's shoves. but Wallace was able to land many blows until a NASCAR safety official separated the two. In a post titled Reflection and uploaded on social media on Monday evening, Wallace apologized for my conduct. He issued his apology not just to NASCAR and its fans, but also to Bell, Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota, stating that he had put them in an untenable situation in the playoffs. Wallace had claimed that his steering broke when he collided with the wall, so his tweet neither acknowledged nor apologized for his role in Larson's crash, nor for Larson's loss of the title. Wallace stated, "I compete with tremendous fervor, and with fervor comes occasional frustration. I compete with much passion. Upon reflection, I recognize that I could have done a better job of representing our partners and the core values of our team if I'd not allowed my anger to follow me outside of the car. There is only one chance at life, and I want to make the most of mine." Wallace, the only black driver participating at the highest level of NASCAR this season, has shown amazing development despite intense criticism. Several of his other drivers have strongly condemned the event, and in light of recent injuries have requested that NASCAR modify the safety elements of the new next-gen car. Sunday's winner and the first driver to claim a position in the championship deciding race on Sunday night, Joey Logano, stated that Wallace's retaliation is not acceptable. Wallace is a driver who finished first on Sunday and was the first to qualify for the championship deciding race. On Sirius XM NASCAR radio, Logano stated that the situation would have been marginally improved if Larson had been spun into the infield. In contrast, it is inappropriate to hook the right rear of another individual in the dogleg. I do not believe anyone is aware of how disastrous the situation could have been. I suppose no one had any knowledge. Because of this, it appeared that Kyle Larson's career would be coming to an end. In my opinion, this was a factor that required serious consideration. Or the remainder of his life. According to Logano, it was a stroke of good fortune for Larson that the ball ricocheted off Bell instead of straight striking the wall. It is probable that Larson hit the object with a flush shot to the side. After that, the game concluded. This will not go unnoticed here. You can't do that, Logano added. I dislike when individuals use automobiles as weapons. If you're truly that angry, all you have to do is confront him outdoors. NASCAR confirmed that the crew chief for Kyle Busch's car, Ben Bishaw, along with 2 pit crew members, have been punished for the next 4 races after a wheel fell off during the Las Vegas race. This suspension is the consequence of the occurrence. So gentlemen, that concludes today's videos. Tell us what you think about the current circumstances in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and then click the subscribe button to be notified as soon as a new update is released.